Hey guys, so I've been working on some pendants ideas, and I really like this one. I really like it. So I used that cane that we had the other day, but I think I need another one or another something. So what I'm going to do is make a little translucent one with just some random white lines in it, and almost like scribbles, you know, is in my head. That's what this is, what I'm wanting to achieve with different layers of translucent. So I'm just going to make a little bit. I don't need tons of either of any of these, you know, and I can always remake them. They're super easy to make. But I need to find my white, my white clay. Oh, here it is. Okay, so I got some clay. I got a little ball of translucent there. And that's the stuff I just did in that conditioning the other day. And then I'm going to do it pretty thin. This one was a thin, like a 6, I think. Setting on my atlas. So let me just, I was just using this the other day, so it should still be fairly conditioned. So I'm just going to roll this out on a pretty thin setting. That's not a 5. Maybe I'll do a 7. Which is quite thin, but I think it'll work. And then all I'm going to do is cut lines in it. So maybe I'll cut 1 in half. So let me see, what do I want? I kind of want, in my mind, I'm kind of picturing something like this. Maybe something like that, you know? Just some squiggle lines pretty much. So let me cut 1 in half. Like that. And then if you want the lines going all the way to the end, you need to decide that. But if you don't want your lines going all the way to the end, you can cut it off. Like that, maybe. Okay, and then we'll put it back together. This is kind of like what you do when you do the stained glass technique. Okay. Just cutting off any excess white that I can cut off. Okay, and then maybe another one that I'll just go down there. So let me and this is a circle, so it's not like if you put it together wrong, anything's going to happen. As long as it's sitting kind of right. And I almost might make one of those circle ones just a little smaller. That one's too small to reduce. But I do like it wider like that. One of these ones. Okay, so then I got one there, one there. Maybe I'll just put one in the middle, maybe. And one there. Maybe I'll just put a line in the middle. I do like my translucent canes, if you haven't noticed. And you could do black and white, you could do a color. I just like this like that, just to add a little, I don't know, I really like it. I really like it. So there's 3 lines that way. Let's do one fully across this way. I don't know, I'm just kind of playing. Now when you piece these back together, you're going to want to make sure your lines match up. As best you can. Okay. Maybe we'll do a little one here. So it's just easier to slice it all the way in half and then put a piece in, even if it doesn't go all the way across. You know what I mean? Or even if it doesn't go through that full length of the piece, it's just easier to slice it in half. I want to make my ends straight on this piece here. Just play. If you haven't learned anything from any of my videos, it really just, I want you guys to learn how to let go and enjoy claying rather than overly stressing. I mean, sometimes they don't work out. The projects don't work out, and hey, it happens to everybody. A lot of the tutorials you see, people practice them first, so you know, it doesn't work out for them too. It's not like everybody's perfect the first time they make a piece. No one is. But you can't expect to get better if you don't practice. You know? Most people aren't just magically great at something. Everything takes practice. Especially anything with a technique. But even if you don't have a technique, just have fun. That's all I'm trying to get out there. Art should be fun. Okay? It never should be not fun. Because then you shouldn't be doing it if it's not fun. Sorry, everybody just came downstairs. They make a lot of noise. Diesel, do not yell, bark at your brother. I will be pissed if you do. Because he barks really loud out of the blue. Trying to line them all up. Babe, can you turn that down, please? Josh. Sorry. He ignores me when I'm yelling at him to turn it down. And this is, again, supposed to be like scribbles. It's not supposed to have any kind of pattern that needs to mean anything. I could do in the opposite direction. I got some diamonds. Maybe I'll do a little one here. And I think that will probably be enough. Do a little one here. I'm gonna, no, I should just slice it because it's too hard to fit one in there. I don't think I wanted it to go all the way down, really. I think think I just wanted it on the end here. Okay, so that's all I want. And again, you can do this in color, you can do this with a bullseye cane, you know, you could do this with a jelly roll, you could do this with anything. This is just a very basic, you know, once you have the basics, then you can expand on them. So all I'm going to do is just reduce this, just by the regular way we reduce. And these are so quick to make too, stuff like this. Same with this one here. So quick and easy to make. And I don't want to get this too small either. I just want to kind of compress it all together. I can always make it again in a smaller size, but I want it to look like scribbles. You know, I might make this one again and reduce it down smaller, just because it'd be cool to have some smaller ones to stick in there. But I already showed you guys how to essentially make it, so you can take that and run with what you want to do size-wise. Okay, anyways, just in case you've never watched any of my tutorials, the way we reduce a circle cane is with using our pointer or middle, whatever's more comfortable, and just tap, 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 tap. And you start in the center, and, well, let me finish it off, hang on. I'll do it when I do the next round. But I had already done that without explaining. Okay, so when it's all the same thickness, you're going to start in the center and give it a little like hourglass figure. And you don't want to push in anywhere at one time too hard, because then you'll distort your image if you had more of an image than I do here. Okay, and once the middle gets this indent, then you're going to start in the middle and work your way up to the edge. Tap, 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 tap. And spinning every time. And slowly work your way up until the edges, that half is about the same size. And then flip it. Do the other side. I'm sorry, my dog's chewing his bone right next to me. And then work up to that edge. And then usually what I'll do, because I don't like to reduce round canes by rolling, especially like when I'm doing a flower or something, I find I just get too much distortion. So I really never do that, ever. So then I'm going to start back in the middle, get a waist again, and then work up to the edge. And this will probably be my last time, because I didn't want to make these too small. And then again, work up to the edge. But I love translucent canes. They just give so much depth. I mean, look, this stamping pattern's on top right there, but then where I put the translucent, it's down behind it. You know, that's hard for you to see, but I can see that it's in person. You can see that it's set down. Sorry, there's some smudges on it. I still got to do one more layer of resin. I just did a thin layer, but you can see that it's sitting down in there. Same with this, is more further forward, and then any part that's under the cane looks like it's, I don't know, it just looks different. Okay, so let me, now usually I would have distortion on the ends. Everybody will, but we didn't reduce that much, so see how we just have some basic. Now I really could have put one over here that is pretty naked over there, but you know, so I could have taken one and gone across. I could have gone another vertical. I could have done a different angle, you know, whatever. So that side is a little naked, but ultimately I'm okay with that. I just wanted, oh, you see here, I put this piece back together where it was off center. So try to line them up. I'm okay with that though, because I think that would look really cool set in with the circles. I definitely do. And you could always, when you cut your slice, you could always so just take this chunk of translucent off and keep it when you cut your slice. So that's it for that one. I think I'm going to make a smaller one of these as well, but there's already a tutorial on that. And then at some point, I'm going to post this veneer that I just made. And then I think we'll make something like this because I really like it. I think it's fun, it's neat, it's different. So I think we'll do one like that. You can do it if you want, you can just watch it. It doesn't matter. Okay, that was it. See you guys. The first time I made this, I just decided to show you how I'm going to do this so that way I showed you and you can see and at that. So when I made this in this tutorial, I took a big circle of translucent and then I used cutters and I pulled out the chunks. This time and I'm only going to make a small one, I'm going to wrap it around kind of like I did the chrysanthemum looking one where we pushed in the lines. So I just wanted to do a quickie video that I showed you how to do that on, okay? Even though I kind of already did, but I just wanted to make sure I showed you because I do like this circle one. And I'm not going to make this as a huge king because I don't need a huge amount. Though I do only want a really skinny circle in the middle to start with. See how I have a lot of translucent in the middle there? But it actually shows your pattern really well through it. And that's the whole point of translucent canes. So, but I'm going to make a smaller one. That's my whole point. Is to reduce it down smaller. So all I'm doing is making a little log. I'm trying to get it even. So it's even from the top to the bottom, and then I'm just flattening off the ends. And then we're going to roll out some white. And you can do colors, you can do black and white, you can do just white, you can do whatever you want. And I'm going to roll this out on a fairly thin setting. This was a number 7 that I just did, so I think I'll do I'll probably do a number 7. I just got to get it through my machine. Because it tears it if I don't step it down, if I go from like what I just had all the way down. My machine will chew it up. It almost chewed it up there. It started to peel it because I went right from a 5 to a 7. I went from a 2 to a 5 to a 7, but that will work. So then we're going to take a little piece of this, and I can actually probably go that way because it's skinny right now. Cut it to the width, and we're going to wrap it around that guy, and we're going to do that the whole. A little tall. It's so fine working with these little ones. But really play with it. I mean, you can't learn techniques or make new techniques without playing. And again, sometimes they don't come out good. Sometimes they do. Just kind of is what it is. But you can't expect to learn, because I guarantee you make something wrong and you know how to fix it the next time. So if I cut out all my mistakes, which I don't on my videos, I like to show you my mistakes. I could cut them out, but I feel like you're going to learn, and you're going to learn how to fix it if I show you how I fixed it. A little like translucent there. Okay, so then I'm going to take a layer of translucent. I'm going to roll that out on a thicker setting. Depends how big of a gap you want in between your white and your translucent. So let me figure out how thick I want it, and I'll be back and I'll tell you. So this white's on a 7. So let me see what I want. Okay, so I decided I got this on a number 4, and I think that will be thick enough, at least for the inner layers. When I get to the outside, I could thicken up the stack. So let me cut it to size first. Making sure I'm using my blade edge. I tend to cut a little wide, then a little skinny. It's just, I don't know, I always tend to do that. I'm going to cut one of these ends off straight. This was that translucent that I put in the bag the other day and showed you how to condition, and now it works perfectly fine. It's actually nice and sticky. Not too sticky, but nice and sticky. Okay, we'll wrap that around. slice off the excess. And say you have a little overlap, all you can do is shave it off if you don't cut perfectly. Even if you push it and get that little line to where you can see where to cut, sometimes we don't cut perfectly, so you can shave it off like that. And then I tend to try to save as much as I can, so if I can shave any off the end, I do, because every little bit matters of pure translucent, like that. And then we'll take another layer of white. And I'm hoping I can still, yeah, I should still be able to wrap that around going this way. Eventually I'll have to move it and go this way, but right now I still think with this I can get it around at least one more time. I won't be able to next time, but cut that like that. Cut an end off. And I'll see if I can wrap it around. Can't pick it up because it's so fine. So you can do these in any thickness. Again, you can do them in any shape, color. One lady on my Facebook page did them in, I think it was like a pinky color, and she made it square. So, you know, honestly, whatever you want. Let's see, will this fit all the way around? Oh, I was hoping it would fit all the way around. Didn't. Okay, so I guess I gotta cut the other way. Let me get a nice straight edge here. They're so fine when they're this thin. I don't ever, other than when I'm making canes, work with clay this thin. It's funny because when I see people making veneers on other videos, they're like, oh, I have it out to a 4. I never do veneers at a thin setting like that. This is a 4 right now, and I never do veneers that thin. I just don't do well with them thin. It's so delicate. It takes a lot more concentration than I want to put on my projects. And then just wrap this guy around. Push it against. So if you push it against, you'll make a line roughly where to cut. And that's it, pretty much. And then I'll do another layer of translucent, another layer of white, and we'll just go around until you get it to the size you want. I don't want 100 layers, you know, just a couple layers. And just a couple more layers, nothing major. This will be a cute little one to add on to our piece we're going to do. Maybe tomorrow I'll do that pendant. I'm waiting for my new cutters to come in. I really want to use some new shapes, so I'm trying to hold off, but maybe I'll just do it. So wrap that around. Pinch my seam closed. And another layer of white. And you can either end it in white or end it in translucent. It's up to you. And this one's so thin you can actually see where it is to cut, even though I got a little skewed there. Off my finger. I think I'll do, well, do I want to end it on the translucent or on the white? My white tends to get really dirty. Or do I want to end it on a layer of translucent? Maybe a layer of white. I'll end it like that. And then I'm going to reduce this down because if I'm going to do something like this, I want this pendant to kind of fit in the inner rim. So just reduce it. I'm only going to reduce it a tiny bit, because I do want these to overlap too, because I think they'll look cool. And then I have this one too that I'm going to use. Again, I could have put another strip of white in here, but I want this to be like a scribble and doodle pendant. You know, that's what I'm kind of imagining with the little ink spots that I put on there, and you know, kind of like a scrap paper like you would have if you were in school sitting through a lecture. Sorry, my dog's gonna choke on his little bone chips. And then I'm not gonna cut this right now to show you guys. I mean, it's gonna look like this. But I just wanted to show you how I would do it. And I may also reduce one of these down smaller as well, so I have even smaller ones to be able to layer on. So I'm even going to reduce this one down a little further just by doing my pinching. And then I think this will be my translucent canes setup. I'm going to post this veneer, how I made this veneer, but I think in our project we'll make one together, a veneer with alcohol inks together, and that way you guys can watch the whole entire thing. And then at some point I'm going to do this pendant using these chips, which actually look really cool. I didn't think the background clay on that one would show up as much as it did, but it did. So I'm going to next time use either a translucent or a pearl or a color that I want to use. That was just some scrap. I had to play with it to see if I could get it to be what I wanted for design. It was a little harder to use than I thought it would be. So anyways, I'm going to reduce this down just a tiny bit more. I'm almost there. And then we'll have all our translucent canes set up and ready for use for that pendant that I'll probably do tomorrow, even though I wish I could wait for my new cutters. Oh well. Okay, so that's it. So here's the scribble one. We have this one that we already did, and then just another smaller one of that, and we'll use that to make one of these.